lot of questions about what to do for vitiligo, which of course is the depigmentation of the skin. So getting white spots on your skin when you have normal pigmented skin around it. And this can happen on different areas of the face, or it could be on the body as well. And it happens more commonly in women as compared to men. Well, here are my 7 tips to help with vitiligo. And stay tuned for number 7, because if you haven't yet followed my content, this is one that you probably haven't heard about. Tip number 1 for vitiligo is to build your solar callus. So what does that mean? That means getting natural sunlight exposure in a healthy way on a daily basis to help to build up your natural protection against that UV. And that's really important for vitiligo, because this has a lot to do with that sunlight exposure and maybe not getting enough and maybe too much blue light exposure, which I talk a lot about in other videos. Tip number 2 is to do a heavy metal detox. So heavy metal toxins have been related to vitiligo and the depigmentation of the skin. So that's something that you definitely want to look into, doing a heavy metal detox. And there are certain herbal medicines and blue-green algae. I love chlorella, spirulina, for getting those heavy metals out of the body and doing it in a safe way. Tip number 3 is to consume organic and glyphosate-free foods. You want to focus on non-GMO foods. We know that glyphosate, being a pesticide, which is rampantly used in our modern agriculture, causes a lot of problems for people in terms of normal and healthy digestion, but for skin issues as well. And it is toxic, in my opinion. I've got other videos all about glyphosate toxicity and what you can do about it and how to prevent your exposure to glyphosate. So make sure you check those out. Tip number 4 for helping vitiligo is to cover your skin when you're inside. So when you're outside, you want to show as much of your skin to that natural sunlight. When you're inside, you want to cover up your skin, because of our artificial lighting tends to be higher in the blue wavelengths of light, and it's not a full spectrum lighting unless you buy and purchase full spectrum light bulbs in your home. You're going to have a higher concentration of that blue light wavelength, which can be very damaging to your skin, especially from your devices and things as well. So limit that blue light exposure, cover up your skin when you're indoors. Tip number 5 is to limit your blue light exposure in general. And this is on your skin, but in your eyes as well. So you want to wear the blue light blocking glasses, especially after the sun has set, especially if you are on devices during the day as well. So that's really important. Tip number 6 for vitiligo is to make sure that you are optimizing your nutrient density, especially of your vitamin D. So that means, again, natural sunlight exposure, but some people will need to supplement with vitamin D to ensure that you're getting enough, as well as iron. So this is something that commonly in vegetarians, but even if you have compromised digestion and you're not a vegetarian, you could be lacking in iron. So getting a high quality whole food iron supplement is really important. And make sure that your B vitamins are on point. And that means whether it's from your diet, from blue-green algae, making sure that you're optimizing your gut health and your microbiome to ensure that you're actually getting your B vitamins, not only manufactured, but also properly absorbed in your gut, is really important for that vitiligo. And tip number 7 is fix your leptin resistance. We know that leptin signaling as well as insulin resistance, so your ability to handle your blood glucose and the sugars that your body is either making or of course that you're ingesting in your diet in terms of carbohydrates and other foods as well that of course will turn into those sugars. If you're insulin resistant, usually because you had the leptin resistance first, that can be a problem and be a causative reason why you have developed that vitiligo on the skin. So there are a lot of links here that I'm talking about. Make sure you check out my other videos for more information about the sun exposure. Especially, I want you to check out my video, Shocking Facts You Haven't Heard About Your Skin and the Sun. I'll see you there.